call our last speaker for today's summit is Ms. Vinita Surana, Executive Director, Surana Group, Director, Win-Win Situation.in, US. Ms. Surana is an entrepreneur, speaker, and also a technical expert. Her passion on education, health, business, sports, social life, and philanthropy made her a vulnerable soul in diverse fields. She teaches yoga and performs cultural Kathak dance nationally and internationally. She has 10 plus years of experience, including progressive experience, identifying new business opportunities, cultivating and maintaining relationships with executive business partners, and spearheading effective sales and market penetration strategies by leveraging expertise and insights to implement forward thinking and strategic business development solutions. And the topic on which she will be sharing her insights today is workplace health and well-being and lifelong learning. Over to you, Ms. Surana. You are on mute. Kindly please unmute yourself.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Ananya, for that introduction. And thank you, Santosh, for the opportunity. Very happy to be here amongst all the respected dignitaries, fellow speakers, and the GCPIT organization. So I would like to start by saying that make yourself priority, put yourself on top of every to-do list, and everything else will fall into place. The only way you can fully be present for others when you've fully taken care of yourself. When you honor yourself, you can then honor others. And the first step towards that is a fit mind, a fit body, and a healthy, harmonious workplace. Each day is an opportunity to improve yourself, your life, and make the most out of it by helping others around you. So a little bit about me. Currently, I'm heading the strategy and operations at the Surana Group, and we have 3 public listed companies, mainly in the fields of solar energy, real estate, and copper as a metal. My latest venture, it actually came out of COVID because our employees were suffering a lot, and not only our employees, I think the industry itself was going through a lot of uncertainty and turmoil. So it's called Win-Win. So my coaching company is called Win-Win Situation, where I groom individuals to believe in themselves, manage uncertainties, look at their blind spots, and reach their highest potentials. Most of my work deals with the mindset of a person and how we can decode what's blocking you and dissolve those blocks with using tools, techniques, and counseling sessions. So each and every person over here, and even you as leaders, so each and every person in your company is a very special, and they have dreams, aspirations. And what happens when life gets in the way? There are times when things don't go according to you. So whether it's your physical health or whether it's your mental health, each one of us at some point have either suffered the physical health challenge and the mental health challenge, and sometimes they come together. So the way that we started doing this at corporate workplaces is to first tackle the basics. So with the basics comes the physical fitness and the mind fitness. And the physical fitness, it's what is the diet that you're eating? Are you going for that exercise? Are you scheduling your work in such a way that you have time for getting a little bit of exercise, the exercise that you really like in your schedule? And we've also, we kind of work with leaders so that leaders can give incentives to their employees by either having a wellness package. So whichever gym they join or whichever area they go for the physical fitness, the company reimburses them for these kind of initiatives that they're taking towards their health. So the first part is the physical fitness, where it is your diet, your exercise, the basics of eating, sleeping on time, getting your meals on time. And then comes the mental part of it, where are you, are you taking that time? Whether are you doing your meditation sessions? Are you doing journaling? Are you doing reflecting on a day-to-day basis or a week-to-week basis? So that you can first be holistic and then come to your company with the right tools that you need. So I won't talk much about the physical ones because everybody knows these, they just don't do them. And the challenge with this is consistency. But let me talk more on the mental side. So if you're a business owner and your own employee cheats in you, or if you're in a booming industry and it suddenly comes crashing down, or if you're employed at a job at a senior level, or at an entry level, and you're fired from your job without a notice, or if you're an entrepreneur and your biggest client backs out, in any of these scenarios, people go through a lot of mental turmoil, and the list is endless. So when people go through these turmoils, these ups, highs and lows of life, in the highs, it's very easy to manage with your family, with your friends, with your work. But when you're in the lows of your life, uh, we need systems in place so that individuals, business owners, senior management, and even entry level people are have a kind of, they are hedged with these this black book of sorts, where which they can come back to when they're going through scenarios like this. And this happens all the time. We live in a volatile, uncertain world, and every day is a new challenge, and seemingly more after the pandemic. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about what you can do. And then, of course, like, there are in-depth workshops, seminars, and corporate plans, which we can discuss later. So the first thing um, we as leaders can do is to set an example for the senior management, or the new interns and the people who are just joining the workforce. So when we know that when we are going through something, and we can come out and talk about it and tell them that they are not alone. So the first thing would be to reach out to the right people for help, and then declare as leaders that this is happening to me too, and this is what I'm going through as well. When you say you're not alone, and when you create communities. So one of the things that we had done in Surana Group is to create a community of women, um, women business leaders. So whether if you've joined us in the last 6 months, or you've been with us for 16 years, this is a community which it discusses only with women problems, and what women face at workforce, whether it is not being taken seriously in a boardroom, or whether it is having to balance the work life scenarios, which is even more challenging with when you're working from home. So to make those communities and say that you're not alone, and facilitate that in a way that it is consistent. It is every second Saturday of the month. So when we put this into personal practice, and at the organization level as a whole, there are many success stories that have come out with this, which have ultimately hit the bottom line and the top line. The second thing I would say is to have like a morning and an evening routine, especially if you are the leaders of the company, and if your work day like really blurs in with your personal day, then there is no way that you're taking care of your mental health. To reduce the stress and anxiety, to increase your productivity levels, to have these blocks of the day which are just yours. Maybe it's with your family, or maybe it's just personal time, and doing a um, low stimulation activity. So when we're when we are in boardrooms, when we're meeting, especially with social media, it's high stimulus. So doing low stimulus activities like walking in the nature, or sitting alone with the sounds of the water, or near a beach. So doing very low stimulus activity is almost in a meditative state, where you are kind of rejuvenating yourself. And this doesn't mean that I take a yearly vacation to a spa. This means that in every day you have these small practices where you can enhance your overall being. The third thing that I want to talk about is, suppose you have had something very unexpected in your life and you're going through disappointment. Do not place the goal so high that you get even more disappointment. What do I mean by that? Suppose if the doctors just announced to you a health challenge or a health condition, that is not the best time for you to schedule 1 hour at the gym or to go for a marathon. You need to accept what is happening with you. You need to, and as leaders, if we can have like places or people in HR where the other employees can come and talk to them, like, this is what has happened to us, and get some people on board who can guide them through that process, that'll be great. But for anyone who's listening here, to take baby steps, to say like, this is not the time to just go all out, but having the right amount of push, just that little amount every day, have daily goals, and then make them better. And the last thing I would like to say is, if you've fallen 10 times, you need to get up the 11th. And we need to create systems where we not only reward success, but we also reward taking a risk. We also reward trying out something new and failing at it. So if we can do that as a community, as a company, as having the culture of the company like that, then people will not quit when they fail, but they will look at it as a small blip and go on moving forward. Now, for the second part of my topic, which is lifelong learning, I think this has been the major impact in my life, at least. So I do have a dual master's. I have done my master's in science and then an MBA. But when I mean lifelong learning, I don't mean like these degrees that people have, which are helpful and they are at their place. I mean that what can you do on a daily, weekly, monthly basis to add to you? So one of the things that is very easy, it's a low hanging fruit, is being inspired by people who you really admire. When you listen to a podcast of a broke person who is now running a multi-million-dollar business, or a homeless person who's now a world-class singer, you instantly give your brain the message that if they can do it, why not me? And when you listen, read, consume, watch videos, as much as success and their failure stories and how they've bounced back, that is the basis of lifelong learning. You can learn from a waiter at a restaurant to the person who's going to give you a Michelin 7-star meal. So a range of people that you can learn from. I also believe that children are a really good way that you can learn things from. And every time I have done something where I have coached, I have taught, I think in that room the biggest lessons that anyone has learned has been me. So a way of giving back is also a way of receiving. And the second point towards lifelong learning, and especially this is a lot for women, is especially if you're not from the finance field, that know your finances. Read, go to workshops, meet the right people. If you really admire someone, reach out to them and ask them, how are they managing their finances? What are the ways that you can invest and make your money grow? How can you let go of your sunk losses? So these two things are very, very important, I feel, for lifelong learning. And have targets, have a dream home, have a dream car. Use these financial targets to remind yourself every day that why you want to work harder, why you want to be more innovative, and how can you generate these revenues. I'd like to leave you with this thought that the days that you don't feel like showing up to the gym, to that business meeting, or showing up for your family are the days that when you need to show up the most. It's the little things that add to big victories. Consistency is the key, and there are no shortcuts to success. And hope that all of you, when you have a chance to choose, that you will choose the pain of discipline over the pain of regret. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Surana. Thank you so much. Thank you all for participating in this knowledge sharing Global Founders Council Summit. Special thanks to all the speakers who have shared their valuable insights with us today. With this, we come to an end for today's summit. We will meet again on 13th May 2023 with all new speakers. Once again, I would like to say thank you to of all who have joined us from the entire GCPIT team. Thank you so much.